Welcome you all to the Accounting Part of my YouTube channel. So this would be my third video in my YouTube channel, and I hope now these days you are getting prepared, you are getting ready for your A-level examination while staying safe at your houses. So in our previous videos we discussed about the preparation of cash flow statements and ratio analysis. So today we are going to move on to another chapter which will be somewhat different from your thinking pattern when it compared with the financial accounting. So that's regarding management accounting. So at the examination, at your A-level examination for accounting, more than 20 to 30 marks will be allocated from this lesson. So this will be a very important lesson, and this is really easy. So the only thing is you have to get the theory accurately. So when it comes to accounting, there are two parts. So that's financial accounting and management accounting. So you are done with the financial accounting. That's related with the preparation of financial statements simply. So the objective of financial accounting is to provide financial information to the stakeholders. When it comes to the stakeholders, it may include outside parties like potential investors and the existing investors and bank and the government and Inland Revenue Department and the other authorities. So to provide information to those parties, right? So that's directly dealing with the requirements of outsiders and not the management. So when it comes to the management accounting, it's directly related with the requirement of management. So as I said earlier, management accounting is an accounting system which is used by the management in order to increase the efficiency of the company, increase the performance of the company. So let's talk about the importance of management accounting. Number one, improved efficiency. So when it comes to financial accounting, we are just dealing with these accounting standards. So we are preparing financial statements in order to fulfill the stakeholders' objectives. So when it comes to management accounting, we prepare management accounts and we utilize management accounting techniques in order to increase the company's performance. So let's talk about those management accounting techniques in detail in other sessions. And the second one, formulate plans for desired objectives. So management accounting helps the company to determine its policies and to formulate its plans in order to achieve the desired objectives of the company, in order to achieve the desired objectives of the management. So using management accounting techniques, we can decide which project we have to undertake, which activity we have to perform. So those decisions those strategic decisions we can take using those management accounting techniques. So if we talk about the need of management accounting, number one, provide information for managerial decisions. So these management accounting techniques can be used in order to choose the best alternatives to perform within the company, right? And next one, identify differences and make necessary corrections by comparing estimated situations and actuals. So in a company, budgeting is really important. So that's coming under management accounting. So you have to budget the estimated situations, and then you have to compare your actual situations, and then you have to take corrective solutions. Third one, provide appropriate solutions in order to solve problems arise in operations. So when it comes to our day-to-day operations of a company, a lot of problems may arise. So management accounting provides solutions to overcome those problems. Evaluate the efficiency of business operations. So when it comes to a business operation, it may include several business segments. So using management accounting techniques, we can evaluate, we can measure the performances of each those business segments. So last one, helps in future planning. So for a company to run for a long period without any failure, they have to make plans. They have to keep proper plans for their future. So these management accounting techniques will help to plan the future of the business, future of the company effectively. Under management accounting, we are going to cover up these lessons: material costing, labor costing, overhead costing, and project appraisal, and CVP analysis, that is cost volume profit analysis. So all these lessons will be discussed in next video sessions. Today we want to understand, we have to discuss the difference between financial accounting and management accounting. So if you check the past paper questions, most of the times the examiner test the difference between management accounting and financial accounting in several aspects. So today we are going to discuss about those things in detail. Okay. So as I said earlier, the difference between financial accounting and management accounting is really important. So most of the cases, most of the times, the examiner tests few differences of management accounting and financial accounting. So today for our discussion, I have selected the 8 aspects to be discussed, the differences. So first one, parties who use information. So when it comes to financial accounting, we prepare financial statements for the usage of stakeholders. So when it comes to the stakeholders, it may include internal parties as well as the external parties. So when it comes to the management accounting, we don't prepare management accounts for the usage of external parties. That's purely for the usage of internal parties, right? So management accounting for internal parties, financial accounting both for internal and external parties. And the second one, nature of information. So when it comes to the financial accounting, we use only the financial information. So whichever that can be measured in money, we took into financial accounts. So but when it comes to the management accounting, we take both financial information as well as non-financial information for our managerial decisions. So third one, legal requirement. So when it comes to the financial accounting, it's legally required to prepare financial information. It's legally required to prepare financial statements. So if it is a PLC, they have to upload their financial information. So they have to publish their financial information in the Colombo Stock Exchange. So that's legally required to prepare those financial information. That means the financial statements. So when it comes to management accounting, there is no such a legal requirement. That's based on the management requirement. Fourth one, time to be considered. When it comes to financial accounting, we recorded all the past transactions. And so when it comes to management accounting, we focus on present and future transactions, not on the past transactions. And the fifth one, the reporting period. When it comes to financial accounting, we prepare financial statements for a financial year. So that financial period may be a 1 year, or for a quarter, or for 6 months, or monthly. But when it comes to management accounting, there's no such a period. That's based on the management requirement. It may be on a project, or it may be on a specific business activity, or it may be on a future project that the company is going to undertake. Likewise. Sixth one, application of accepted principles. So when it comes to financial accounting, we prepare financial statements based on LKS. That means Lankan's accounting standards. So that's basically the accounting standards. So there's a legal framework to prepare our financial statements. So but when it comes to management accounting, there's no such a legal framework. So those management accounting information can be prepared by the management on their requirement, as per their knowledge or as per their judgment. And next one, reporting entity. So we assume our business organization as a one entity, and we prepare financial statements based on that basis. So but when it comes to management accounting, we can classify our company, we can categorize our company, or we can classify our business activities. So we can apply our managerial accounting techniques for each and every business activity on our requirement. And next one, relationship between other areas. So when it comes to financial accounting, the financial accounting is basically dealing with the accounting field. But when it comes to the management accounting, it deals with other economical areas and other statistical areas. So it's dealing with several areas. So these basic differences between financial accounting and management accounting, you have to thoroughly understand, you have to thoroughly keep in your mind. So most of the cases 2 or 3 differences may be tested at the examination. You have to keep these differences in your mind. So as per this diagram, the term cost can be divided into several areas. The term cost can be divided into several categories. So the term cost can be divided into several bases. So the first one is valuation of stocks. So that's period cost and product cost. So what's the product cost? So the product cost is the cost of production. So the cost incurred in producing goods, the cost incurred in producing our products is the product cost. So it may include material cost or the labor cost, and whichever the cost that can be traced or whichever the cost that may be vary with the level of production can be categorized under product cost. But when it comes to the other cost, so as an example, those costs which are directly recorded in the income statement against the income of the period are known as period cost. So the next classification is direct and indirect cost. So the term direct cost and the indirect cost is very much familiar with you, because when it comes to manufacturing counts, you have already touched that term. So direct cost is what? Direct cost is the cost that can be directly traced out from the product. So as an example, when it comes to a t-shirt, the raw material cloth value is a direct cost, because you can directly trace out that raw material from that product. But when it comes to the rent cost of that factory, can you directly trace this out from that product by looking at that t-shirt? No. So it's coming under indirect cost. And next base is for decision making. So the first one is fixed and variable cost. So first let's discuss about the variable cost. So what do you mean by the term variable? So the term variable describes somewhat varies with the level of production. So the cost that are going to be varied with the number of units that you produce are called as variable cost. So the fixed cost is the cost that is the cost which is not going to change with the level of production. So it's very simple. Next one, sunk cost. So that's the cost that you have already incurred as a result of past transaction. So when it comes to your future decision takings, no point in considering the sunk cost, because you have already incurred that cost. And next one is opportunity cost. So that's the value of the next best alternative. So the term opportunity cost is, you are really familiar with the term, so as you have already studied it in economics. So the meaning of opportunity cost is same as the economics when it comes to the accounting as well. And the next one is relevant and irrelevant cost. So if any cost which is directly relevant for a decision, the considering that cost is really important for a decision to be taken, we can assume that cost as a relevant cost. But let's say the other cost which are not directly relevant with the decision, we categorize under irrelevant cost. And the third base is for controlling purpose, and the classification is controllable and uncontrollable cost. So what do you mean by the controllable cost? If any cost is behaved within the responsibility of the manager of any company, can be called as controllable cost. So uncontrollable cost are the cost which cannot be controlled by the management. And the next term is cost unit. So what do you mean by a cost unit? So simply the meaning of cost unit is an unit that you are going to measure the cost. So as an example, when it comes to a brick manufacturing company, the brick is the cost unit. Or else when it comes to a transport company, the cost incurred for 1 kilometer, that's the cost. So that's the cost unit, right? Okay, so the term cost center. So the cost center can be referred to a place or a person or a activity within the company which is collecting the cost. Right. So as an example, a factory within a company is a cost center. So that's all about the introduction to management accounting, and so you have to thoroughly understand the differences between management accounting and financial accounting for your examination. So just continue with your studies these days, and thank you for watching this video, and let's meet with overhead accounting with our next video. So thank you, best of luck with your studies.